Hi, good evening all. This is SK. Today's price action is today's price action was something which was very predictable, and start of the day was a trading range day where we had too many targets above and for the bulls and too many targets below for the bears. So this was the picture which I was looking before the market opened. But the most importantly, the targets which I had was from this red line. If you remember, we tried to poke through the high of the month a few days ago on Monday, and the following day we failed. So bulls failed here. That means this is the resistance which we are looking again. Right now we are looking at the breakout. We are doing our homework, assuming that the breakout, either we're gonna get the breakout or it's going to be a breakout failed. So we need to be sure that where the breakout can happen or where the breakout can fail. This is the February high. This is the February high, but if you see on your left hand side, we have already traded above the February high and we failed. This is the January high. If you see, we poked through January high once, we tried poking through twice, and we failed. So these two are the major resistances as of now, and this thing here, this green line here, is the high of here. This green line is not very important, but February high, January high, and this red line is very important. So how I am preparing my day? If you see, there is no pause, like in a higher time frame, there is no pause. This is one directional. Can it break through this and start going above? No. We will get some kind of a pullback. I was not prepared today to get a bull leg right at the open. I was thinking that this is something, we can retest this, the breakout point, breakout support where we bounced, or at the most we can go up to 1916, 1915, like something like that, or here 1911ish. These were the area where I was thinking that we can get a pullback. But unless or until we are not below 1906, this support, this guy here, let me have this, unless or until we are not below this, this square, this was a breakout out of the box, and this was very, very strong with a strong leg up. So all this is a bull leg. We can get pullback anywhere up to this level, up to let me see, up to this level, which is 1903ish. It's okay. I was still I would have been bullish. 1899 was this support. If you have followed me on my Twitter account, I mentioned that around 1899 is the area where we might get the bounce as well. These were the supports which I had in my mind. So these bear target 1, bear target 2, but bear targets for the pullback. This is a strong breakout. Buying is very strong, resistance is very strong. So we can get a trading range where bulls and bears will be fighting. Most of the traders should not be trading, but at least they should be prepared with their support. This support is something, once we're gonna have our study material out, you will be looking at it your own self, and it's going to be very, very simple. At least now, if you're watching my recap videos, you should do your own recap, and slowly and steadily you will see that every other day it's a similar setup. Trading range, breakout, we see a trend, and then we see a trading range, and again we see a breakout. So let's see, so mentally I'm prepared that we can poke through this. Mentally I'm prepared we can get a pullback. It's not a bear price action. I will pull back. In most cases I do not short a pullback. On a third push I sometimes do short a pullback, but on other cases, push 1, push 2, a strong double bottom, I do not short these pullbacks. So I was not ready to short here. If you have followed me on my Twitter account, I mentioned that I'm not ready to short, but I'm not getting a bull entry. So let's see what we saw this. First candle I saw this, this is very bullish, but still I have these targets above. should I buy this? I mean, I will only be very comfortable buying either getting a pullback near the support. This is kind of a trading range as of now. If you see here, this area is kind of a trading range, which is the resistance is this, our low is this. So I was not ready to buy this. I was ready to buy a pullback, but this was too climatic for me. I did put my limit order above here. If I get filled, I was ready. I was thinking, like we might break through. It might get very climatic and we break through above all this. But next candle was a very disappointing candle for me. When I saw this candle, oh, I'm sorry guys. Let me just a little bit. When I saw this first candle, I was like, okay, we are getting a deeper pullback, that's for sure. When I saw a second candle, I did not short this because I never knew when bulls will be when bulls might trigger a bounce and might start buying. This is a suicidal short. Most of the traders should not be doing anything, because we have our support here where we can bounce. We have our targets above. Let me just do this thing here, and so then I saw a bounce here, then I saw a bounce here. I did not buy this as well. I mentioned over here on my Twitter account and stock tweets that this is we will be long if we get a second entry here. We will be long if we damn we will be long if we get a second entry long here, but we did not get we get a pullback. Second entry long means, those who are new listening to these recaps, second entry is, this is the first entry, which is covering, short covering from bears. If we go above this and close well above it, that will be our second entry, and if we get any pullback, we'll buy that pullback and we'll go for the next leg up. But as of now, we are not above this, so this is not a second entry. So then we saw this candle. This was again not a good buy entry, or it's not even a good sell entry. It is into a pullback mode. I mean, we are near the support. We should not short this. We find any reason to buy this, but we do not have a second entry long. So this was a price action where I was bullish. I knew that we have a support. We have a support here. We can bounce today. This is we're almost at the end of a month. Tomorrow it's going to be Friday, so I was assuming, like bulls might try to poke through this and go for the next leg up. So then we saw this candle, and this was the candle which became our first entry again. I mentioned on the Twitter account, it poked through there. I was long here, like I put my limit order and I was long here. I mentioned over there that, okay, long with a second entry, bulls are buying here. So then we saw this, so this is our second entry. So any pullback around this low, 4 tick low of this, any pullback low of this, I will be buying. So I bought this. I mentioned on my Twitter, everybody that bulls will be buying the pullback. I bought a pullback. I shared with you guys, and we go for the next leg up. So this is a pullback. After this pullback, so right now we saw this kind of dodgy candle where it's kind of an indecision, but bulls are trying to go for the next leg up. Is it a buy? This is not a buy as of now. We should have a limit order. We should not buy at a close. It's a limit order. We put our limit market about 1929, 1929, 25 or something like that. If we get filled, we should see, now right now, if you see that this was our breakout, which is 1932ish, like from here we tried once, and this is the second time we have tried, to break through the resistance. So right now I will be looking to go long with a swing trade if we go above this. So like these are the trend lines when while trading I'm always drawing, so we saw this, I got filled, I again made money, again shared with you guys that this is uh, this is the next entry, like bulls are buying, and I took my profit here. Somebody asked me that did you get stopped out? No, it reached the profit target. Bulls reached their profit target, and we should take our profit here. Right now, we might get a pullback. I will be only be long if we close well above this resistance, or I will be looking to see if we get any deeper pullback to here, whatever. I took my profit, and I was not eager to go along anytime sooner, because I was assuming that we can get a pullback here. We have reached our breakout point. If you have seen my recap videos, again, whenever breakout happens, we get one or two or three pushes to the same side, and when the breakout is tested, we get a pullback. So this is more likely a short because we are testing a breakout, but I did not took no position. So it's getting ready. Is it a buy or is it a sell? It's nothing. This is like bulls are trying. I have my limit order, which is about 1932. If we get filled over there, we'll buy, or we will not. And this is what we saw. Bulls failed, but bulls failed here. Doesn't matter, bulls are failing, but we are long as we are above 1922, 1923. If we're above this, I'm long. I'm going for the next leg up. I'm looking for any reason to buy, but my main concern is this resistance. This is what we saw. If you have seen my Twitter account, I mentioned long as above 1924. That was actually from this bull candle that we were very long. We saw this kind of a price action. We saw bulls bought very aggressively, and if you see, we are making kind of a double bottom here. It's kind of a double bottom here. So like this is something which while this is little advanced drawing these trend lines. For you, just say, like we saw this kind of a pullback, we will go for the next leg up with the second entry. This is the first entry one, this is the second entry, we got filled, we are seeing some kind of a bounce here. Our resistance is this because we saw the breakout. From the breakout, it retested, tested again. So this is the pullback. We got filled here. This is the push one. This is pullback. This is the push two. But push two is coming near the high of the trading range, and this is our breakout point. This is the third time we will be testing the breakout point. Anything above this breakout point, this will become our support. When this will become our support, we'll go for the next leg up, and this will be our stop. 1932 will become our stop if we poke through and traded well above that. If you see here, uh-oh, if you see, this is what we are looking. We are trying, we are struggling here. Bulls are struggling here. Bulls got me filled here. Like I believe I was in a position here with a stop which is like 1922. I believe I had a stop. Maybe this. Yep. So this is what we saw. We again failed, but I was long. I got filled here in with my swing trade. And I was like, I got filled, and I was not even here. I was not even looking at this trade. I put my stop. I was long just three contracts. I mean, once, I mean, these are the swings, you take, it's like 50-50% ratio I have. Sometimes after 12, 1 o'clock, I'll put a limit order with a stop order and with a target, we normally call it a bracket order, like I put a bracket order just to, just, because I've seen so many charts and I've traded so many charts in a different time frames. You slowly and steadily, charts start talking to you. Like, charts will start telling you that, how bullish we are or how bearish we are. I was very bullish here. I was bullish, like I was ready to see a next breakout. You see what we saw on our left, we saw a trading range. That's what's happening here. We saw a bull leg, and right now we are looking at a trading range, two targets. If we traded well above 1932, bulls will go for the high of the day. And if they took high of the day, they have two targets which like, bulls will definitely be taking. This is your entry one. Like, if you are not, let's say you do not have all these lines, you're new to this thing, you're looking at like what to do. This is your first entry. Do you go, how do you go long here? You go long here if you get filled on the second entry above it, or you get a pullback above the close of this, you get a pullback, and then you go for the next leg up. This is what we saw. We saw a pullback. This is our second entry. This is our second entry fill. This is our second entry fill. Most of the traders should wait for the 1932 or 1933 resistance to be taken. But right now, if you see what we are doing here is, I mean, we're trading with a trend line. We trade. I mean, slowly and steadily, you will be there where you will be and drawing your own trend lines, and you will be looking at this, like in a different way altogether. For me, this is like, a breakout point. Like, it's a different way to look at the chart when you draw your own trend lines. But as of now, let's just do not have this. So, this is the second entry you got filled, and we have a resistance here. Your stop should be low here, because we can get a deeper pullback as well. But this is a second entry with a successful breakout will take us to the high of the day. This is what we saw next. I mean, honestly, this was a swing trade which I took. This is the time of a day when I do not like to trade. 11:30 to 2:30. This is a time when the market gets very deceiving. Like, market gets very brutal. Like, it can take all the money you have made. It can take everything back from you. So we saw this kind of a breakout here, well above that. This was a long, but again, new traders, newcomers, I mean, like, how many targets you have? Just, you have a target 1932, then you have a target high of a day, then you have a target breakout point, then you have a target next month's, like, then you have a next month's high, then you have, I mean, this price action was not good for newcomers, but at least, like, if it is not good, doesn't mean that we will not trade. We'll get better at it sooner or later. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive bull bars. This is a very, very strong push. This is going to be the push one. Very strong push one. Even if we get a pullback up to 1927, I would have bought it. And we took the high of the day, we took our first resistance, we poked through February high, saw a very shallow pullback, and we are trying for the next leg up. So I mean, after some time, like, when you are very close to the monthly target, this kind of a price action you often see every last week of the month. Like you will start getting the nature of the month. Because first week we are not worried about higher lows and nothing. We are just, we know it. Like if we have a bull breakout, we will just see a follow through. Second week we see mostly trading ranges and kind of little bit up and down. Third week we see the trend, because like bulls and bears are trying to make their base and trying to take over the position. And the final week we see a one directional price action where either bulls have failed or bears have failed, and the price is going towards towards one direction. So we saw, this right now, this is the breakout. So this is our support, this red line, or you can say high of the day is our support, which is 1936. Anything above 1936 is a buy. And we saw this, we are bouncing. This is push one, this is push two, and this is push three. Push three is January high. This is push three, which is January high. But we are very, very strong here. This is kind of, or you can say this is kind of a trading range after a push one, and this is push two. Right now, when we get such a beautiful bull price action, like this is truly, bears are not even in the picture. They are not. This pullback is from the profit takers. This pullback is from the profit takers. Bears are not even in the picture to sell. Like they know that, they had already given up. They had given up from high of the day. They had given up from these 1932 resistance. They had given up when they were not able to take this low. They have been beaten to they have been beaten so many times here. Like, so right now we are in way in long position. Like we are very, very, very bullish. We had a breakout here, we had a breakout here, we had the breakout test. Now we are going for the next leg up. So we saw kind of a trading range here. We poked through the high of the breakout mode. We had it from here, where bulls failed previously. So we tested that, and from there, remember, bulls failed. Right now bulls have taken this, resistance. So right now everything below this, which was resistance before, right now it's our support. So we saw the bounce again from there. This is beautiful. This is like, we even took January high at the end. Like, so this is right now we are very, 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 very bullish. Like, we are very bullish. I believe right now we have already taken 1950 pre-market as well. I can see this from here. Oh wow, we have taken this. We are going. You see how this day ended here, somewhere here. Like we took this, and after the January high, we are exploding. This is wow. I already bought some calls today. Like, I mean, tomorrow I will be in good profit. It's good. I bought some calls. Very good price action. This is something you all should review these. Take pictures, keep pictures with you. Like, this is the similar price action. I mean, sooner you will be looking at that first week we get certain type of price action. Second week we get certain. Fourth week it's always previous month high and low, which is in the picture, and we see the breakouts and all that. This thing gets so simple. This thing gets so easy once you start looking at it every day. Promise yourself you will only be looking at A-mini. Just trade. Do not trade for some time. Get a job, get a night job, get a part-time job. Borrow some money from a friend. Do whatever you want to do. If you cannot trade, do not trade. But have a discipline, have a commitment, have a dedication enough to review these charts over and over again. I can share whatever I have learned, but I cannot make you master in this. I cannot make you succeed in this. I can tell you that this is what happened. Every day after the day ends, everything looks very clear. But the thing is, you need to feel, you need to see all those things. You need to remember that, okay, high of a day, low of a day. You need a double bottom trend line. You need to talk to yourself while looking at the chart, because at that time, either weak traders, they are looking for somebody else to give them the pick, somebody else to tell them what to buy, what not to buy. Strong traders, they are always talking to themselves, because 90% it's hard work. You can put as much as you want, but the last 10% is your own conviction, it's your own intuition, which tells you, okay, we are getting a breakout. I believe in myself, I believe in my trade. And if you start believing in that, trade very small, and everything belongs to you. Like, then sky is the limit to make money. You can, I mean, there is no limit how much we can make. Uh, um, um, it's like getting financial freedom through trading so many businesses. This is chart. This is like so technical. Computers are trading. There is no emotion. This is beautiful. This can't get more clear than that. My course is getting ready. I promise you, once that course is out, you will feel very confident and very independent in your own self. Let's get together, let's help each other. Ask me as many questions as you want, because I'm here to share my thoughts, I'm here to share my vision with you guys. Please ask me as much as you want. I'm here to help you all. Good luck. Bye bye.